Alrighty, we are in the garage this morning, and you're going to have to deal with the heater because it is cold out here. Yes, we're in distress, under distress. So we are now flying the flag upside down. Yes, we are buying toilet paper because we're not going to get caught in the toilet paper of rush of 2021. That is going to happen eventually. So what is today's video about? I'm pissed. You want to know why I'm pissed? H.R.127. And no, I'm not pissed because the federal government, Congress, is trying to push this thing through where you got to be licensed for every gun. You got to pay a tax on every gun. You got to have your license renewed annually. And if you want an AR, you have to pay $800 for that AR. And I'm not for sure if that's annually or not. Regardless, it's ridiculous. So why is this a problem? It's not only a problem because it's about the right to keep and bear arms. So it's unconstitutional in that manner. Let's forget about that for a second. On my other channel, I've explained this 100 times. I wanted to explain it this time because we need to be educating people. You need to educate yourself if you don't know why, even if you remove the fact that it's about firearms, why it's unconstitutional. I'm going to explain why, and you can go and research what I say after I say it. Don't take my word for it. I want you to go research this. Article 1, Section 8 is the 18 specific powers that we granted the federal government. That's what we said here. You have the power to do this. If you pay special attention to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, it lines out the jurisdiction for the federal government. So go read Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, because I don't know it verbatim, so I'm not going to try to repeat it. It basically says that the federal government has jurisdiction over lands 10 miles squared, which is now known as D.C. That will be the government seat. And any lands legally purchased through the many states' legislatures with the consent of those legislatures. The federal government has jurisdiction over those lands for buildings, dockyards, magazines, and something else. I forget. I'm sorry. Go read it though. Now, after you read that, read the 10th Amendment. All things. How does it read? I'm sorry. Pull up the 10th Amendment real quick on your phone. I want to be correct about this. I don't want to mess it up. But after you read Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, go read the 10th Amendment. Then go back and read all of Article 1, Section 8. Then go back and read the 10th Amendment again. The 10th Amendment says, the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, or reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Meaning, if we didn't tell the federal government, yes, you can do this, or no, you cannot do this, those powers go to the states and the people, or the people. The people always had the last say, no matter what. I'm sorry, I tried to do three things at the same time. So what does this mean? It means that even if you remove firearms from H.R. 127, if it was about Snickers bars, if it was about this file, if H.R. 127 was about files, it would still be unconstitutional because the federal government doesn't have the jurisdiction to create national sweeping laws. They only have the jurisdiction to create laws over lands that are owned by the federal government. And those lands had to be legally purchased by the states. This was the problem with the Money Ranch incident. The government just walked up and said, we own that on the map. And they can't do that. But they've been doing it for years. And now they've been doing it so much, people don't even want to educate people about this. They just want to say, oh my God, H.R. 127, call your senator, tell him, call your representative, hurry, 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 hurry. I love CNN. So we have to change the mojo here. We got to change the modus operandi. We can't be bitching and complaining about what they do. We have to stand up and say, no, you don't have the authority to do this. You don't have the jurisdiction to do this. We are not going to allow you to do this. And anybody that tries to enforce this shit, if you push it through, because you're already tyrants, we know that. Anybody that tries to enforce this shit has made themselves enemies of the people. So who will try to enforce it? It will be people with badges on. People with badges on happen to be at the core of every problem this country has. Like it or not, it is. It's just the truth. But that's what we need to start doing. H.R.127 doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they don't have the jurisdiction to do what they're doing. It's like the Utah state legislature making a law and saying, hey, you got to force this in Ohio. It's the same thing. We are 50 sovereign states. The federal government is just a mediator. When it comes to legislatures and legality, they could technically, I don't want to say state, they are the 51st territory. And they only have legislative powers over their territory. That's it. They don't have the power to create a law in Ohio. They don't have the power to create a law in Utah or anywhere, in any state. The states are sovereign. That's why we have borders. That's why we have our own state legislatures. Our states make our laws. We're not going to fix it until people know what needs to be fixed. And that's on you to teach them, just like it's on me.